Have you ever wondered if we're really the most advanced generation in history? Well, what if the ancients had computers, earthquake detectors, and even flamethrowers? Stick around, because what you're about to see isn't just old, it's genius. In the next few minutes, we'll prove that everything happening around us isn't a revolution, it's just the evolution of knowledge built over millennia. Every time we talk about ancient times, subconsciously, everyone imagines some Greece or at least Rome. We'll try to be original and start with the East. Paper, even noodles, these were all invented by the brilliant minds of China. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Take a look at this beauty. What do you think you're looking at? I bet you had no idea before we made this video, and neither did we. It's a seismograph, almost 2,000 years old. Yes, the very device that measures the strength of earthquakes and the direction in which they move. It turns out high-tech precision wasn't required. This visually stunning mechanism, invented by Zhang Heng, is packed inside with levers and a massive pendulum. Dragons face all directions of the compass, and under each dragon sits a frog. No, this isn't just for decoration. The figures serve a functional purpose. During an earthquake, the pendulum moves, and the complex network of levers releases a ball from the dragon's mouth into one of the frogs. In this simple way, the Chinese determined the earthquake's epicenter and could send help if needed. For perspective, Western civilization invented a similar device only 1,500 years later, but don't think they were sitting idle. The Greeks, a couple of centuries before Zhang Heng, built a full-fledged computer. It's better known as the antikythera mechanism, named after the island near which it was found. Using gears and pure mechanics, it tracked 42 astronomical events. It modeled the positions of the Sun, the Moon, and the 5 known planets of that time: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It even predicted eclipses of the Moon. With it, ancient Greeks could easily determine the current date, track lunar cycles, and perform all sorts of calendar calculations. And let's be clear, it was incredibly convenient. Olympic dates were set using it, astronomers studied distant planets, and all this in 100 BCE. When the antikythera mechanism was discovered in the early 20th century, scientists acknowledged that its calculations were nearly flawless. More advanced than some modern astrolabes of that era. Progress, right? Today, anyone can assemble a similar device. An Apple engineer, Andrew Carroll, built an antikythera replica using Lego, and the instructions are online. We all know war has always been a driver of technology. The space programs of the USSR and the USA existed because the military wanted deadly missiles, and in the past, brilliant minds often applied their intellect to inventing instruments of destruction. Take Archimedes, who lived in the 3rd century BCE. He discovered laws that physicists, mathematicians, and engineers still use today, but he also created something else: a real damn cannon. The secret was simple: a metal tube filled with water on one end and heated until the water instantly turned to steam. When a projectile was loaded, the steam would blast it out. Legend has it that Archimedes' cannon was used during the defense of Syracuse in the First Punic War. Now today, it sparks engineering debates. On one hand, the popular show Mythbusters couldn't make a working replica. On the other, MIT's team succeeded, and the blueprints came from none other than Leonardo da Vinci. So yes, it's hard not to believe that such a device existed. Even more incredible, 2 centuries before Archimedes, in the 4th century BCE, the ancients successfully used flamethrowers in internecine wars. Yes, real flamethrowers shooting coals and sulfur. Enough about war. Peaceful inventions were also abundant, even among the Greeks. Fast forward to the start of the Common Era. You're standing in the heart of Rome, ready to head to your next battle at the Colosseum. It might shock you, but taxis aren't a modern invention. Even more surprising, 2,000 years ago, Roman cabs had real taximeters. Drivers charged people precisely for the distance traveled. How was this possible without satellites? Mechanics were already known to the Greeks. Enter the odometer, a device to measure wheel rotations. Thanks to it, Roman travelers always knew how far they were from home. Fun fact, modern calculations of Alexander the Great's campaigns deviate from ancient measurements by less than 0.5%. The same technology was used in taxis. A special gear on the wheel clicked against another. After a full rotation, the driver counted the necessary clicks, and at the right point, a pebble dropped into a bag. At the end of the ride, the driver counted the pebbles and announced the final fare. Amazing, isn't it? Even vending machines are a revival of ancient ideas. In the 1st century CE, Hero of Alexandria described machines that dispensed holy water. People would drop a coin onto a perfectly balanced lever, which opened a valve and let water flow for a set time. And that wasn't the last of Hero's inventions. He also described a primitive steam engine, a rotating marvel powered by steam. Thanks to such devices, in 1698, Thomas Savery got a patent and the Western world entered the Industrial Revolution. So, the so-called barbarians who destroyed Greece and Rome may have slowed progress, but who knows how much faster science could have moved otherwise. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a wealth of inventions by ancient minds that we may never fully appreciate. You don't have to be a genius to store food in a cold place. Our ancestors did it tens of thousands of years ago. And we do it the same way. Just swap a cave for a refrigerator. Cars replaced chariots, flamethrowers and steam cannons evolved into tanks. The world around us isn't a revolution. It's mostly the evolution of ideas invented long ago. Who knows how many ideas from ancient Greece, Rome or China are still gathering dust on a shelf. That's why history matters. Modern technology lets us implement ancient ideas beautifully. We hope we made this video in a way that earns your like. Subscribe, friends. There's much more exciting stuff ahead.